just hit $60, so it is what it is. I guess at this point, you got to do what you got to do.
The cost of filling up keeps going up due to the U.S.'s war with Iran.
Trump ran on a campaign saying, I'm going to end endless wars. We've got to invest in America, not on these endless wars. And he went back on his word.
President Donald Trump says he believes the U.S. and Iran will come to terms on an agreement that will end the conflict.
We have a number of people doing it, and the other side, I can tell you, they'd like to make a deal. And who wouldn't if you were there?
The war with Tehran has disrupted tanker traffic through the Strait of Hormuz, choking off about 20% of the world's oil supply.
I think they're going to start playing hardball, and that escalates the risk that this could be dragged on for a longer period of time, and that consumers, through higher gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel prices, are going to have a little bit of sticker shock that could linger.
Possibly lingering for people as they plan their summer vacations.
Travel has been a top priority for a lot of travelers just the past couple of years. And that has been, pretty notable with going somewhere that is a popular destination. You may be paying, slightly higher costs to get down there.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Alabama drivers are feeling the pinch at the pump as gas prices continue to climb, and now a proposal to temporarily suspend the state gas tax is sparking debate. Supporters say it could offer quick relief, while others warn it may come at a cost. Gubernatorial candidate Doug Jones took to Facebook to propose a temporary suspension of Alabama's 30-cent gas tax and 31-cent diesel tax for 60 to 90 days, putting more than $100 million back into drivers' pockets, according to Jones. Fox 54's Valentina Chalala spoke with lawmakers about how a temporary gas tax break could impact drivers and the state's bottom line.
With drivers watching prices climb at the pump, gubernatorial candidate Doug Jones is saying relief could come with the lift of a tax, proposing a temporary suspension on gas tax that would put money back into people's pockets. But in Alabama, that idea is fueling a debate of its own. The gas tax, established under the Rebuild Alabama Act in 2019, funds roads and bridge projects across the state. Doug Jones says a temporary suspension could provide quick relief to drivers.
Not asking that it be completely repealed. I'm just simply saying put a pause on it. If people can't afford to drive, then it doesn't matter what condition the roads are in. The only thing that this will do is to keep some money in the pockets of hardworking Alabamians.
A similar bill is being drafted in the House that would freeze the gas tax if oil reached a certain price per barrel, as well as create dedicated gas tax holidays. Representative Anthony Daniels is expected to introduce that bill during the last 6 days of the current legislative session.
This is not an issue that impacts one party or the other. This impacts all people, whether you're affiliated with a political party or not affiliated with a political party. Because at the end of the day, once you're a representative, you should focus your attention on being a representative of all the people, not some of the people.
The state of Georgia passed a temporary gas tax suspension just last week, but some Alabama lawmakers warn such relief could undermine long-term infrastructure funding. But for drivers we spoke to, relief at the pump, no matter how small, could help offset their cost of commuting.
Some people travel miles and miles to get to work and then have to turn around and pay extra gas money.
I enter my rewards numbers and stuff to try and save the 5 cents they give you off, but I would appreciate spending less. If that's an option, I would definitely appreciate that kind of thing.
While supporters push for immediate relief, opponents remain cautious about the impact on infrastructure funding, leaving the future of a temporary gas tax suspension uncertain. In Huntsville, I'm Valentina Chalala, Fox 54 News.
Representative Anthony Daniels says the proposal will be introduced when the legislature reconvenes next Tuesday, and if passed, the change could take effect immediately. Gas prices are climbing as a result of the war in Iran, with the national average reaching close to $4 a gallon. But on top of what the global market is doing, Alabama also taking a cut every time you fill up. But just how much is Alabama charging, and how does it compare to years past? We verify.
A trip to the gas station is something many of us do every week, and lately that task is hitting our wallets even harder than usual. Part of that is due to global factors like the ongoing war in Iran, driving up oil prices, but it may also be connected to changes in Alabama's state gas tax. So, has Alabama's gas tax actually gone up in recent years? Let's verify. Our sources are the Alabama Department of Revenue and the Tax Foundation. Here's what we found. For more than a decade, Alabama's gas tax hardly moved much at all. From 2013 through 2018, it held steady at around 20 cents per gallon, but then that changed. According to the Alabama Department of Revenue, the state gas tax is sitting at 30 cents per gallon as of July of 2025. So what caused such a big jump? That shift came in 2019 when Governor Kay Ivey signed the Rebuild Alabama Act, marking the first gas tax increase in nearly 3 decades. The law phased in a 10-cent increase over 3 years, jumping from 18 cents to 24 cents in fall of 2019, then adding 2 cents in each of the following years, bringing the total to 28 cents. In October of 2023, it ticked up another cent to 29. And then in July of 2025, it increased again to 30 cents per gallon. That's nearly a 67% increase over the last 10 years. When you compare Alabama to the rest of the country, the state ranks 25th, just below the national average of 33 cents per gallon. California tops the list as nearly 71 cents per gallon, and on the low end, Alaska is the cheapest in the nation at less than 9 cents per gallon. So we can verify that yes, Alabama's gas tax has gone up in recent years. But compared to most states, Alabamians still pay a little below the national average at the pump.
And if you have something you want us to verify, text us at 256-382-2692.
New details from investigators reveal the final moments before an Air Canada Express flight fatally slammed into an airport fire truck crossing the same runway. National Transportation Safety Board Chair Jennifer Homendy says just 2 people were working in the LaGuardia control tower at the time, with both starting their shifts about an hour before the crash. Investigators now say one controller was handling the active runways and airspace immediately surrounding the airport. The second controller, a supervisor, was also responsible for issuing route clearances to departing flights, an arrangement investigators say was not uncommon for that hour of the night.
That is in the standard operating procedures for LaGuardia. Our air traffic control team has stated this is a problem, that this is a concern for them for years.
But investigators still do not know which controller was specifically overseeing ground control, the movement of planes and vehicles on taxiways. Richard Kennington spent 25 years as an FAA air traffic controller.
LaGuardia is one of the most difficult because they have so much aircraft and so little real estate when compared to a Denver or a Kennedy or a DFW.
Adding to the complexity, investigators say controllers were already dealing with another emergency just before the crash. A United Airlines flight aborted its takeoff twice, prompting the response from airport firefighters.
2384 is declaring an emergency. Flight attendants in the back are feeling ill because of the odor.
The NTSB says that 1 minute and 3 seconds before the crash, interference garbled a radio call from the fire truck to the control tower. The truck radioed again just 20 seconds before the crash, and the LaGuardia Tower granted clearance to cross the runway when the plane was just 100 feet above the ground. Just 9 seconds before the fatal collision, the tower told the fire truck to stop. The plane was 1 second from touching down.
Stop, truck one, stop. Stop, truck one, stop. Stop, truck one, stop.
The NTSB now says the fire truck was not equipped with a transponder, meaning ground collision warning systems in the tower did not alert controllers to the danger unfolding in front of them. A CNN review of anonymous safety reports from pilots showed growing concerns about conditions at LaGuardia. Before the crash, pilots filed at least a dozen reports warning of miscommunication, near misses, and increasing pressure on controllers. The pace of operations is building in LaGuardia. The controllers are pushing the line, one pilot wrote. On thunderstorm days, LGA is starting to feel like DCA did before the accident there. Please do something.
I think this was preventable, and we will get to the bottom of it and honor all those that were involved by reassuring that it doesn't happen again.
We're nearly 4 weeks into the war with Iran, and about 6 in 10 U.S. adults say that U.S. military action in the country has gone too far, according to a new AP Norc poll. At the same time, 45% of U.S. adults now say they are extremely or very concerned about being able to afford gas in the next few months. That's up from 30% in December 2024, shortly after Trump got elected, on promises that he was going to fix the U.S. economy.
The economy, I believe, is going to be very strong. We do have to solve some problems. We have wars going on that we didn't have.
But now, 67% of U.S. adults say it's extremely or very important that the U.S. keeps oil and gas prices from rising at home. Similarly, 65% of U.S. adults say it's extremely or very important for the U.S. to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon. But other goals of the war get a little bit less support. Only about 4 in 10 say it's extremely or very important to prevent Iran from attacking Israel, and only about 1/3 say that about replacing Iran's government with one that's more friendly to U.S. interests.
I'm Fox 13 News reporter Julia Sandor. The Layton Police Department is cracking down on cryptocurrency scams that they've been seeing in the area. They say with the increase of these cryptocurrency schemes that they're hoping that they're going to be able to protect more people in the community with new measures.
Just for the pleasure of using this machine, this cost me like $369 just to put that much money in.
Cryptocurrency ATMs and Bitcoin teller machines can be found across the state. Enola Johnson didn't know much about them until 2024.
But it's just flying under the radar because the only people that know about this are the ones who've been scammed. I'd never heard of these things before I got scammed, and hardly anybody else has.
In the matter of 2 years, Johnson was scammed twice, but now she works to help prevent situations like this from happening to others. In Layton, the police department has reported about $2 million in fraud-related losses between 2021 and 2025.
Victims being scammed by very typical scams involving the use of cryptocurrency. And so our investigators through the city council came up with this idea of removing the primary tool used in these scams, which are the physical kiosks.
Lieutenant Bobrowski says scammers call people and convince them to deposit money into those machines.
It's heartbreaking when they come in and they've lost a substantial amount of money. And it's easy to say there's a certain demographic of the population, but the reality is this scam affects everyone.
Layton Mayor Joy Petro says nobody in their community deserves to be taken advantage of.
Nobody should be taken advantage, and especially when they get into the mind game and playing with these folks on the phone. They get them on the phone and they really talk to them, and they convince them that they're going to win $1 million, or you've got a relative in jail and we need you to get them out.
They're not banning cryptocurrency by any means. Instead, they're just removing the 18 machines that are in use in the city. They've tried educating the public on this issue, but continue to see cases on their desk. Existing machines in Layton need to be removed within 60 days.
And is this going to stop all scams? No, it won't. But it's going to put a speed bump in there so that older folks like myself are not unwittingly directed there.
Johnson says she's grateful for the change in Layton and will advocate to make sure others follow suit. In Layton, Julia Sandor, Fox 13 News, Utah.
The American dream is on hold for many. Mortgage rates hitting their highest level since October. That has mortgage demand down more than 10%, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association. Meta introducing executive pay incentives tied to hitting a $9 trillion market capitalization by 2031. The company also telling employees in wearables and ads to stay home, with layoffs looming.
Just wasn't expecting this amount of chaos this morning, but we're getting through it.
There are plenty of frustrated passengers at airports across the country. That's helping one company cash in. Clear is the fast lane through airport security. Almost 300,000 passengers have downloaded the company's app since the partial government shutdown began. Shares in Clear Secure are up about 60% in just a month. And Amazon's big spring sale is back, with the e-commerce giant hosting its savings event through March 31st, giving all shoppers, not just Prime members, a week to score some deals. At the same time, rival Target is debuting a 3-day sales event dubbed Target Circle Deal Days through March 27th. CJ Papa, Fox News.
As if taking off wasn't already taxing enough, now travelers are facing hours-long wait times as security lines stretch on, some even extending outside.
Travel is a recipe for increasing your stress level.
Psychologist Susan Alberts with Cleveland Clinic says all of these factors release the stress hormone cortisol in the body, creating more tension and irritability. While there's nothing you can do about the lines, you can control your composure.
The number one cause of feeling stressed is feeling rushed or late. Building in some extra cushion time will help you to feel calmer and avoid that stress that comes with feeling behind.
Next, Albert says to pack some peace, bring distractions like podcasts, music, movies, anything that can help you cope, and comfort items like a pillow, blanket, and noise-canceling headphones.
These are going to help reduce your brain from feeling overwhelmed and more at ease through the process.
Bring healthy snacks and stay hydrated to avoid extra stress on the body and help keep up your energy. And consider downloading apps that calm your nerves, like breathing exercises, mindfulness, or meditation. Finally, set expectations. Know that there will be bumps and delays along the way.
Knowing this ahead of time and being emotionally prepared is going to help you to feel less stressed overall.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
A piece of Black Panther history is among more than 1,500 movie and pop culture items in Prop Store's Spring Entertainment Auction. In addition to a Black Panther stunt helmet from the 2018 film, the auction includes a Maximus Arena helmet and mask from Gladiator, a light-up C-3PO head from Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, a screen-matched Wilson volleyball from Castaway, and Quint's harpoon gun from Jaws. The live action runs through Friday. More info at propstoreauction.com.
Our mission is to find life in the far reaches of our solar system.
And they'll have one more season to do it. Apple TV says it's renewed For All Mankind for a 6th and final season, fulfilling the original arc envisioned by its creators. Meanwhile, Netflix has announced production has begun on season 5 of Bridgerton, focusing on Francesca Bridgerton Sterling and her late husband's cousin, Michaela Sterling. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Tell me, when it's just you, all alone, do you even know who you are?
Line? Sorry. Riz Ahmed plays a struggling actor up for a life-changing role in Bait.
Oh my God, Sharpeye, are you going to be the next James Bond?
Just an audition. James Bond is white. I want to show people that this is what a hero can look like.
Ahmed, who created and wrote the show, says you don't have to be an actor to relate.
It feels like we're constantly having to perform a version of ourselves that is worthy and desirable in order to seek approval. But actually, we're a chaotic, vulnerable mess.
He's helped and hindered by his cousin, played by Guz Khan.
I think Zulfi's kind of a guy who's like, look, we got one shot at this life. Let's give it a go.
They're both outsiders and they're both dreamers, but they both have totally different ways of going about pursuing their dreams. Shah's is, I'm trying to seek approval and seek entry into the establishment. And Zulfi's is, I don't want to sit at the table, I'm going to build my own table.
Do you want to be reactive or do you want to be proactive?
A hyperactive few days will change the course of his life.
If I don't know who I am, it's because I feel like maybe you don't want to know. Are you acting? No, there's like lines. They are lines, but the feeling is honest. You're insane.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
We could all
all use a little good news these days, and here's some that'll make fans of Punch the Monkey go ape. It seems our beloved Punch has finally made a real best friend. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know that Punch went viral when adorable video of the baby macaque monkey toting a stuffed animal everywhere took the internet by storm. The story took a dark turn when officials at Japan's Ichikawa City Zoo confirmed the plushie was a comfort device of sorts for Punch, who was abandoned by his mother and later bullied by his enclosure mates. But now the zoo says the 7-month-old is finally fitting in, hugging and playing with others, and has been seen clinging to what the zoo calls his new best friend, another macaque named Mo. So now we can count at least one official pal for Punch, in addition to his millions of fans worldwide. From a very real friend to a very, very fake one. That's what California Highway Patrol troopers discovered riding in a vehicle using the carpool lane on the I-10. Officials say the driver had used a hooded jacket to turn his front seat into a faux bro, appearing to ride shotgun. But a keen-eyed motor officer busted the rush hour ruse wide open, denying the cunning carpool creativity. But that wasn't even the weirdest traffic stop we have. No, this half-baked fake missile mistake takes the cake. Florida Highway Patrol stopped a truck appearing to transport a pair of missiles after they received several calls from concerned motorists. Turns out the Florida man/Rocket Man told FHP officers the missiles were plastic fakes used for shows and events. Officers deemed the situation safe, suggested better modes of transport for the props, and then, of course, took selfies and posted them to Insta. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
That verdict came after jurors in New Mexico sat through nearly 7 weeks of testimony where prosecutors argued Meta hid what it knew about the risks of child sexual exploitation and other safety issues on Facebook and Instagram. The jury ordered Meta to pay the maximum fine on thousands of violations, totaling $375 million. This is the first trial to reach a verdict following a wave of lawsuits against social media companies. In California, Meta and Google, the owner of YouTube, are awaiting a jury's decision on claims their platforms are intentionally addictive and harm teens' mental health. That jury is on its 9th day of deliberations, and if they side with the plaintiff, it could set the stage for more lawsuits against social media companies. Meta and Google deny their platforms are harmful or addictive and stand by their safety features. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Fox 54 Plus has your news, sports, and weather. Start your evening with Fox 54 at 5:30, delivering the latest headlines and live reports straight from the scene. Then, stay informed with Fox 54 News at 9, featuring your Tennessee Valley certified most accurate weather impact team, tracking everything from tornado threats to traffic delays during severe weather. Fox 54 Sports Extra brings you more of what sports fans crave, with deeper insights, expert analysis, and all the action that matters most. On Fox 54 Plus, you'll also find Alabama politics, plus 24/7 weather radar and real-time forecasts to keep you ahead of the storm. Looking for a quick recap? Don't miss Fox 54 Week in Review, highlighting the biggest stories of the week. Jumpstart your morning with Morning Rush. Fast-paced news updates featured with uplifting stories from across the globe. Get your entertainment fix with Getting Real, where we break down movie reviews, top 10 lists, and spotlight the newest film. Die Hard fan? Locked On Sports dives deep into the Crimson Tide, the Tigers, college rivalries, and pro action. True crime warrior style? Killer Cases brings you gripping real-life stories that stick with you. Hungry for more? Cooking with Style serves up mouth-watering recipes that are easy to make and impossible to resist. From movie previews before you head to the theater with Take a Look to must-know headlines from across the region and around the world with In the News. Watch all of these shows on demand and also on the Fox 54 News app. Available on Android and iOS devices. Streaming 24/7.
Did you know that you can get weather impact updates 24/7 on Fox 54 Plus? Here's how. Go to Fox 54 Plus on your Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, or Samsung. Once you're on the main screen, push the down arrow and click on the Fox 54 Plus Weather Impact 24/7 block. Here, you'll find radar, current temperatures and conditions, traffic cams, forecasts, and more, all available on demand. Want to get back to the main channel? Just push the down arrow and click on the 24/7 stream button. It's your weather impact updates 24/7 on Fox 54 Plus. Start streaming today.
There's more to Fox 54 Plus with the Locked On Podcast Network. From the Tide to the Tigers, from college teams to pro, the Locked On Podcast Network gives you insights and analysis you just can't find anywhere else.
These kids, they want to play.
I don't think so. I think it was Chad Baker Mazzara.
Locked On Sports, streaming every day of the week and right here on Fox 54 Plus.